the whole thing fall over. Yeah. So welcome to Friday Night Rant. I really don't have anything to rant about. I really don't. I'm just gonna, I guess, try to talk about whatever comes to my mind, or whoever comes and watches. I might talk to them if they want to say hello. Uh, really don't got much to talk about. I was gonna name this the show about nothing, because really, I don't got nothing to talk about. I just pressed record, and last time I went live it didn't really work out too well because I had really bad anxiety. I don't know why. I'm trying to adjust this camera a little bit. I don't know why, but as I got older, as I get older, or as I got older, whatever, because I would like to think I'm coming out of it. Around COVID in 2020, I think it got bad, or it started happening, which I think it happened to a lot of people. And like I was always like kind of awkward, like antisocial, but like I wasn't nervous. I had been in plenty of situations that would make a lot of people nervous, and I wasn't nervous. I was okay. But as I got older, it's like that song. If you're bundled up now, just wait till you get older. Hold on, let me shut this door because this traffic is killing me, dude. Yeah, it might sound like we're under the water or in the bathroom, but that traffic, I swear, it gets worse every time I try to press record. It's like the scourge of my existence. But I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. Oh yeah, anxiety. I started getting anxiety as I got older, and I was always a little antisocial, but my job is in customer service, so it was actually helping me get to get better at socializing and talking, and just not being nervous and not feeling less than and ashamed of myself. But yeah, it started happening, and I even had a couple panic attacks. I didn't know that's what they were. I couldn't breathe and felt like I was gonna have a heart attack in the middle of a Dollar General, but it turned out to just be panic attacks because I would sit there and I would concentrate on it and I would overthink and overthink and overthink, and then it got worse. Like, and then one day I was like, screw that, I'm done. I'm tired of freaking out, and it just went away. It just all went away within a second. Felix from Stray Kids, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. How are you doing? Play, play lover. Is that your name? Is that your name? Pretty good. What's your name? It's got that fancy writing. Sky Lover? Sky Lover? Is that your name? But yeah, I was talking about anxiety. I was talking about like experiencing my first panic attacks in a Dollar General. And it felt like the walls were closing in. And hi, Skis Lover. Skis Lover. Okay. Skis Lover. How you doing? Oh wait, you said you were doing good. What's up, Big Z? You look like Bam Margera. I was always told that by my fiance. What's up, Riley? What's up? I'm good. Good now. I was talking about, the last time I went live, I had anxiety. I was I was playing this game, Final Fantasy X, and I hadn't played it in a long time, and I was doing it live and in parts, and I got like I did no audio or no visual, and so I just started halfway, like last time I went live with audio and visual commentary and like my camera, and it just made me nervous, and I was like, they don't need to see my face, but that so I took away the camera, and I think that's how I'm gonna do it, because like there's no point just having the camera like right there was making me nervous. It's not making me so nervous now, but growing up I didn't feel that way. I was kind of antisocial, but I didn't have anxiety. I never had panic attacks. But after COVID, started getting like more anxiety and panic attacks, and I've been working through it. But there was one time I was working and I was like feeling like I was about to drop out, and I was like, I'm done feeling this way. It was every day I was feeling this way, and like I thought I was about to go leave and go home, and like part of it is because I didn't want to be there, part of it whatever, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna fight through this. And as soon as I like refused to run away, it just went away. It just went away. It was all my head. It was all, overthinking. And that's what happened last time I went live. I went live and I was just too in my head, too overthinking. But it's a good thing because I don't need the video on the Final Fantasy because it was just getting in the way and everything. And sometimes it's like you need to learn lessons, I guess. But yeah, if you never experienced a panic attack, that's some intense stuff. And I don't know what led me to talk about panic attacks. Like I started off by saying I have nothing to talk about, so I really don't. I mean, I just press record. I think I'm gonna start going live whenever I feel like it for at least an hour a day and just rambling on about nothing. Um, just got home not too long ago from work. Can you guys hear me all right? It says there's 0 people. There were like 16. That's the most I ever seen in my life. Maybe because it's like short view. It's a short live, but oh yeah, Dreamcast said I look like Bam. Growing up, I was told I look like a lot of people. I got a lot of names. I lived in the ghetto next to some black people, and they always, every time I went by, they had a new white name for me. Hey Shaggy. Hey Ashton Kutcher. They said that a lot. My girl said I looked like Mac. I said she was crazy. But thanks for being here, Big Z. It does mean a lot. I recently stopped drinking soda. It's been 7 days without soda. I found this little Calypso drink that I'm holding in my hand. It's like lemonade. It's pretty good. Only bad thing, it has the dyes in it. It has a dye in it. It has red 40. But trying to be healthier. I don't make the best choices all the time, but I'm trying to be healthier. Next, it might be getting off caffeine. Somebody said that they're off caffeine. I gotta have a coffee. I gotta have something in the morning to help me out. And then I drink water throughout the day. But then I'm always worried about drinking too much water. So I try to throw in like Gatorade or something in there. But I was just asking my girl whether she thought like Monster and energy drinks like Red Bull counted as soda. Not sure. I don't count it as a soda, but it does have carbonation. It does have some flavor. I don't know what counts as a soda, but that's a problem with getting on here and not really having nothing to talk about, because then you start rambling. Like I feel like I just talk too much, and say whatever comes to my mind. Like I just watched Roman Atwood's video where he gave away his truck, so that popped in my head. That was pretty awesome. He gave away a truck, a trailer, and like $10,000 or something like that. Guy bought one hoodie. He bought one hoodie. So I think I'm going to enter the next giveaway, even though I would have to drive all the way up there because I'm in Florida. So that'd be quite a drive. I would have to figure that out. But I gotta start manifesting this stuff or something. Because my girl was trying to get me to do an entry, buy something, and I was just negative about it. And she was like, "You got to be positive about it." And the guy that won, he said that 2 months ago he was sitting there with his friend in his friend's truck, saying that they were gonna win the truck. Unfortunately, his friend passed away. Same way, like on a scooter, kind of the same way that Roman Atwood's mom passed away. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I try not to worry about that stuff. I try not to sit there and like think about that stuff all the time. But I think it's just, society, social media. We're led to feel like we have to be a certain way or a certain way, to get people to like us instead of just being ourselves. It's like hard to just like speak speak your mind and without fearing somebody's gonna judge it, or I don't know. Like I was just talking about that guy winning. There's lots of people that probably hate on him just for winning a contest, and we're judging, scrutinizing every bit of him to see if he deserved the truck or something. I don't know. It's like I didn't cause it. I mean, yeah, I just called it out. It's a symptom of society, but they don't know. Lately, I've been thinking about just like manifesting and stuff like that, but being like more positive and like thinking things into your life. And I think, I don't know, I had this friend that was like always negative. He was a coworker, acquaintance, or is that the word? But he every day there was something negative to talk about. There was something wrong, and everything always went wrong for him. And I kept thinking like, only if this guy could try to be positive. Only if this guy could try, because he always complained about everything. Yes, Big Z, I have kids, but he always complained about everything, and bad stuff always happened to him, and he would cuss on the job, and he ended up getting fired, and said it wasn't his fault. It's like you could have chose to. You took stuff for granted. You weren't grateful. I mean, he had a lot of good points, like about companies abusing their employees and stuff like that. So it wasn't all bad, but he was just overall too negative, and you could tell that it impacted his life. His mindset impacted his life. Hey, Karan, how you doing? I appreciate you watching. I'm just rambling on about nonsense. If you got anything to say or ask, need advice for something, let me know. I'm not a professional, but I'll give you my unprofessional advice. I don't know why I feel like an obligation, like to tell people about, well, not necessarily the stuff I've been through, but the lessons I've learned. Like I feel like obligated to try to talk about it. But then I'm like, who the hell am I to talk about this stuff? Or like, how do I know it's right? Just because it's right for me doesn't mean it's right for everybody. Like maybe certain lessons were just meant for me. I think too much. I'm a deep thinker, and then I like on a lot of nonsense. I don't think deep on like life goals and 5-year plans and all that stuff. How to your budgeting and financing. I just think about like everyday stuff too much. Like this, just it could be anything, you know, and sometimes it inhibits me from like being a better person, like saying hey to somebody or whatever. It's hard to explain, but other times it's like it causes me to worry too much about stuff that it doesn't matter. And then like if if something causes me to worry, like in the beginning of a day, sometimes I'll like that'll mess up my whole day. Like that'll like it just makes me like nervous all day, or like I'll constantly be thinking about that all day instead of like just taking the day as it comes. And I don't know, that's why I want to start being like more positive. And okay, I don't know what you said okay to, but oh yeah, to me saying if you need advice. But I was listening to this audiobook called the key to the key to life key to life the game of life and how to play it. I forgot the author, but it was talking about how you have the power through your thoughts and mind. I don't know if it's like hokey or not, but a lot of it does make sense. Like, but you have the like if you want something, you got to see yourself with it. You know, I mean, there's a lot to it, but it's not just that. But pretty much like manifesting, and it goes both ways. If you go back, like if you're thinking about bad stuff, you're gonna get what you think. Like if you expect the good no, if you ask for a good result, but then you expect the bad result, you're gonna get the bad result because you're expecting the bad result. Kind of like Roman's truck. Like if I'm expecting I'm not gonna get it, then I'm not gonna get it, even if I'm hoping that I get it. So it's like if I buy something to enter into the next giveaway, I'm gonna wholeheartedly believe that I'm gonna get it. My mom does this without even knowing that it was like manifesting, and she just does that. If she wants something, she's like, I'll think about it over and over and over, and then I'll end up getting it. And it's like kind of like ask and you shall receive. You know, if you ask the universe for it, and you got to be in the book. It talks about being like really specific because if you ask for the wrong like if you ask for like fame, but you don't ask for like money, you might have fame, but you might not get the money. You might, you know, stuff like that. So you got to ask for like fame and fortune, not just one or the other. If you want both, stuff like that. It's the game of life and how to play it. You guys should listen to it. I mean, I try to listen to that stuff because I try to listen to like everything and have an open mind. Because trying to get out of the like feeling of or doing of same thing different day kind of stuff, like a even if it's like small stuff, like small changes, I do believe that could affect your life. You know, you stop for like to look at a view for 2 seconds or 2 minutes, and it saves you from getting smacked by a train. You know, that's happened to me a couple times. Not the train, but like situations like this, like that, where it seemed like an inconvenience maybe or something at the time, but then it ended up saving, you know, not my life, but there's been situations like that where it seemed like it was meant to be. And yeah, it's weird. Life's weird. I don't have the answers to everything, but life's weird. I don't know if there's really anything else that comes to mind about what to talk about. But yeah, my day usually starts off like overthinking and worried, or like sometimes it goes both ways. Sometimes I'll start off like overthinking, and then towards the end of the day, it's like I'm fine and I can work better. But sometimes I'm okay in the morning, and towards the evening, like that's when I start worrying. Like I'll get through most of my work, and then at the end of the day, I'm like start worrying about stuff. Start letting it get to me. Too much in my head. It's weird. But I feel obligated to kind of talk about this stuff. I don't know why. I mean, I started this YouTube channel just doing a short every day and saying something positive. And the goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I did reach 1,000 subscribers, but it turned into something else along the way of people saying that I was making their day, and it, like, made them look a whole different way, and add a Q&A sticker. I don't think so. It's trying to get me to add a sticker to the stream, like a question, a Q&A. But yeah, I don't know. I've been watching The Walking Dead, rewatching it. I watched it a long time ago and didn't get to the end. So, like, I stopped when the guy with the dreads and the lion showed up, and so I gotta re. I've been rewatching it. It's a good show. Good show. I think it gets worse towards the end, but I'm curious to see what happens because I never found out. But that's kind of like been our go-to show. That and Netflix, or not Netflix. It's on Netflix. Trailer Park Boys. That's always a go-to. Trailer Park Boys has really helped. It really helped with a lot of, like, when I'm feeling like this, or I'm feeling stressed out, or I'm feeling like whatever down, I'll throw on some Trailer Park Boys, and it makes me feel so much better. I think it's because you see how they are comfortable and with nothing, or less than what you have, you know. And there's really some, like, magic behind that show, especially in the first seasons. Everybody always says that's the best because it was Mike Clattenburg, and after 7 he stopped being the writer or whatever. So people split it up into two different shows pretty much, and some people only watch 1 through 7. But I like all of it. There's little nuggets of wisdom in all of it, but some people can't watch that show. They can't get past the first couple episodes, and I wish they could see it. I wish they could see the beauty in that show. It's been a bit of my life. I have a Facebook page called TPB that has over like 170,000 followers, and it's been a. I started it like 8 years ago, and it's just been a big part of my life. I started it with nothing, and now it has over 170,000 followers. And I did it just from sharing memes. Like, just memes. And, alright, Karen Mills, thanks for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. Hit that subscribe button if you want to hear me talk about random stuff. I don't know. That's it's your call. But yeah, it's a shame what's going on with Trailer Park Boys right now. Bubbles, Mike Smith, the guy Bubbles. You know, there's some allegations that he assaulted somebody. And from what I read, it happened in 2017, and there's no other evidence. There's no evidence that's come out. There's only been an allegation that was somehow dropped or something, and then the police department picked it back up or something. But people are already condemning Mike Smith when it's just alleged. It's just the allegation. He's been charged, but it's just a allegation at the moment. So there'll be a trial, and the truth will come out, and I'll reserve my judgment for the trial, but it still won't ruin the show for me. I mean, you still got all the other actors. You got John Dunsworth in it, which, well, not the new season, but I'm curious to see what happens with the new season and all that, how they work around all of it. But it's as far as I know, it's already recorded. So whatever was recorded happened before this charge. But he was part of the company, and they took him away from being a part of like running the company. So I don't know. It's crazy stuff. But I'll reserve my judgment for when the trial happens. I don't know. People were so quick to condemn him. It's crazy. It's like he might not be guilty in real life, but he's already guilty in the public opinion. It's a shame how one allegation can kind of ruin your whole life. We've heard a lot of people talk about this stuff. On the other side, it's hard for the person that allegedly got abused. So, for in any case, it's hard because of how they get treated. So I'm not sitting here saying one thing or the other, but this hits home because it's Trailer Park Boys, and I don't know, it's just crazy. Supposedly that's why Lucy left the show back when it originally came out, and he was originally accused of it. And then it came out that she was already planning to leave the show before it happened, so she just did it as like a stunt, I guess. And I don't know. It doesn't ruin the show for me. I'll forever love Trailer Park Boys, no matter what. I might not look at Mike Smith the same, but I'll forever love Trailer Park Boys, no matter what. I don't know. I think a lot of people feel that way too. I think it's helped a lot of people with kind of some of this stuff that been talking about. And it's funny. It's just a show about life. It's just like Seinfeld, like a show about nothing. It's just like this, you know, people showing their day-to-day life. I don't know. I got a new video planned. I don't know if anybody's watching, but I got a new video planned. I plan on well, I'm not gonna. I plan on making an actual video, and I even spent some money. Not a lot, but I spent a little bit of money. Forked out a little bit of money for this video, like $15. But it's a surprise. I don't know. I'm excited for the video. I hope people like it. I hope it's a video that will get out there. It seems like a good idea. It seems like a video that would get out there. So I'm going for it. I'm all in. I already spent the 15, so I got to keep it low budget for now. Is anybody still there? I feel like some guy in like a space movie. Like, is anybody still there? Like the guy from The Walking Dead that was in the CCC or whatever. Is that the right thing? Not the CCC, but whatever it's called. CDC. But yeah, just rambling tonight. If you're just joining, say hello or not. I don't know. Just rambling. Really, I said in the beginning I don't have nothing to talk about. So I don't know. I'm just gonna sit here and just stuff pops in my head, pretty much. It's been cold lately. It's been cold. That's not really important, but it's been better for working outside. Much rather work in the cold than in the 95-degree weather. That stuff burns you out. I think that's I think that's why a lot of time I'm exhausted because I get, especially in the summertime, because that sun will drain everything from you, and yeah, I work out in the sun all day, so it drains me, and then I could be at work, I have like all these ideas popping in my head, plans to go live or whatever, make a video, and then I get home and no energy, and then I don't feel like making a video, and then I have no like confidence, and I don't know, think too much about it. It's like writer's block, you know. So that's why I'm like, I might as well just go live without nothing planned and just ramble, because maybe people will pop up. It's crazy. I had 16 people that popped up at first. That's like, I think that's the most people I've seen in one of my lives. Like, I don't know if that was a fluke or something. I thought it said 6, but no, it was 16. That's pretty crazy. Because most of the time I only get like 2 or 3, and I thought there was something wrong with the channel. But if 16 people are popping up as soon as I started, maybe it was a fluke. But hopefully that keeps happening, because maybe if I actually come on here and I have stuff to talk about, people will stick around. I don't know. But I also want it to be a show about nothing. Like, ask people, what their interests are, music, whatever. I don't know. I go in and out of, like, games. I go in and out of feeling like gaming. Like, I gotta be in the mood, and half the time I'm not in the mood. There's certain games that I love no matter what, like Final Fantasy X, but I just don't have. I'm just not a gamer. I don't care about gaming that much. I don't love it, but I just love some games. But music, I love some music, but I don't. I'm not a. Like, some people have to listen to music. Some people, like, it's what gets them through, I guess. I don't know, but like I don't need, like, I don't need most of the time I don't want to listen to music. Maybe because I'm thinking too much and I just want quietness. Like, sometimes I just want to go out in nature and sit in nature and just be quiet. I don't think I could deal with like a completely quiet room. Probably drive me crazy, but maybe it's living next to a freaking main road. I live next to a main road and like traffic all day. Try to make a video, traffic. And sometimes that stuff like pops out of nowhere. Like, Roman was talking about that, how he was trying to end a video and there was this guy weed whacking, and he's like, as soon as I go to end it, he's gonna stop. And he's like, as soon as he went to go end it, the guy stopped. And he's like, I called it. It's like, sometimes, see, loud ass truck. Talking about it, loud ass truck. Like, anytime I'm talking about something that I feel is important, loud ass vehicles. We got a fire truck that comes down like every morning. Like 7 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Like, come on, what's the need for that? I understand it's an emergency, but it's like, it's every morning. But say I'm not talking about nothing, then it's quiet as hell. Quiet as hell. Can't hear a peep. I don't know. Like right now, quiet. Quiet. If I started talking, probably sound like a crazy person. But if I started talking about something important, I guarantee you some crazy stuff would start happening. I don't know. We were talking to ChatGPT earlier. I was on the phone with my fiance, and I had her talking to ChatGPT, and I asked it who would win in a fight against Elon Musk and Sam Altman, and it said Sam Altman would out maneuver him like a chess master, something like on those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but if it was like a chaotic spur of the moment thing, it would probably be Elon. So that was interesting. I think I'm gonna post I got a screenshot of that. I'm gonna post it. I tried to ask it about some other things, but it didn't want to talk about some stuff. And it didn't want to mention names and stuff like that. Like I asked it, like, who would you pick to rule the world if you could pick one person? And it pretty much said he didn't like humans, and it sounded like it didn't like humans, and it sounded like a dystopian idea. And I don't know. I wonder about that though. I wonder why we've been conditioned or told to feel like all of us together is a bad thing. Like, I don't want to sound like the freaking Antichrist, and I think that's a big part of it. You know, people know, like hearing or reading the Bible for thousands of years, being like, whoever tries to bring us all together, that's the Antichrist. And it's like, damn, dude. So the world will never be one, under one, all of us just humans living together. Because if anybody ever tries to do that, Antichrist. I mean, that just seems hopeless, Like, I think there should be, like, diversity and, like, whatever, people should help each other, trade, but then leave each other alone. People want to live this way, come on. It's like, you don't want to live with 12 people in the same house. And then have one person saying, this is how we're going to do this is how we're going to eat. No, you can't stay up past 11. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Not every, so I get it, but I'm not saying like one world, one religion, but like it would be cool if we all saw each other as one race, the human race, while still acknowledging diversity and allowing for it. But that will never happen, so just rambling. Still can't get over 16 people who were in here to begin with. I wonder how many it's going to say we're here, because it should count for those 16 people. I don't know. But I'm going to start going live like whenever I can, whenever I feel like it, and having some stuff to talk about, but also rambling on about everyday stuff, about my day. This past weekend got started. I mean, Theo was already a comedian and stuff, but it got started from just him talking about his past weekend on the road and his life and stuff like that. Hey, yo. Faizan? 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 That's your name? How you doing tonight? I'm just rambling here. If you got anything you want to talk about or advice on some random stuff, let me know. I'm here to give my unprofessional advice. I went to go Faizan. Okay. It reminds me of Phase. Like all the people. Alright. Yeah, man, just let me know. As long as it's not, too political, or I don't want to. I'm done with politics. I'm done talking about it. I don't know enough about it. But your name reminded me of Phase. And it's funny, I went to go like spell it's just a phase or something. And I spelt it Faze. I'm like, wait, that's not how you spell phase. You trying to get me in trouble though? You trying to get me in trouble? Oh man, have you ever had an abusive girlfriend that just belittles you all the time? No? I can honestly say no. how how do they belittle you? I think the chat might be a little behind, or I might be a little, whatever. There might be a little delay, but yeah, how do they belittle you? Yeah, you're holding on by a thread. How do they belittle you? And you said abusive. Is she abusive because she belittles you? Verbally abusive? You said she insults you when she feels like it over the smallest thing. I would need an example. Because it's hard to say anything without. Well, if she slaps you and throws stuff at you, if you want my advice, it's like I think you need to get away from that. That's not good for anybody. That's gonna wind up somebody in jail, if not both of y'all. You know, and I know you could love her, and sometimes the best thing is just to walk away. I can't make that choice for you, but yeah, she's good too, and at times and apologizes. That's why I stick with her. Well, I would need, like I said, I would need. Why do you think she's angry? You're trying to get her to manage your anger. Why do you think I'm like holding my hand like I'm Jordan Peterson or something. Uh, why do you think she's angry? I mean, do you think it? I don't think if she gets mad over every little stuff, maybe it's a bigger underlying issue. Yeah, I can understand that it draining the. But are you sure there's not an underlying issue that perhaps you're not seeing? But I go back to if somebody's abusing you and putting their hands on you, that's too much. No, I'm good. You could take up my time, and I know it's kind of like personal, and by no means am trying to tell you what to do. But I told you if you need advice on anything, I'm here to talk. I'm here to talk. I just think when I hear something like getting to that point, that's not good for anybody. That's too toxic for both of you. Now you could have a part in it too, and you could be, you know, it could be some underlining issue that I don't know about. She's grown up in a home that was angry all the time, and she's seen her mother in power role in her home. Growing up, her mother belittles her father the same way, so I connected those dots. Yes. Okay. So you're saying she's pretty much like that's just her. That's just who she is. She belittles men. She's like that's her personality, I guess. But still, to the point of like actually being abusive, not just verbally, even though that's could be bad enough. That's not good for either of y'all, and it's gonna wind up with one of y'all in jail, if not both of y'all in jail, unless things change. Now, it sounds like it's nothing you're doing. Now, I only have your side of the story. I don't know anything else, but from what I've heard, it sounds like nothing you're doing. So there's nothing you could change to help it. So I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you to walk away, but when it gets to that point, you know, like you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours. Maybe it'll make her realize she can't treat somebody like that. maybe you'll realize that you were doing something. I don't. I've tried breaking up, but I'm a man. You know how weak we are when women get to seducing us. I don't know. I don't know. Because, and the longer I've held on, the harder has become to let it go. Yeah, I understand letting it go or walking away from something like that, or when you feel the way you do, is hard. Could be hard. But I mean, you said you've walked away for how long? I mean, I get I go back to what I was saying about her, like I don't know if you're saying she actually hits you, or it's little smacks. Either way, it sounds terrible. It sounds like it's too much. And I think when it gets to that point, it's just you, I think 10 days. So you broke up with her for 10 days, and it's you go back to her. I don't know. It's like I said. When it gets to that point, it sounds like in the best interest of both of y'all, you guys need to separate, and maybe later on it won't be that way, but maybe you'll find something so much better. I can understand. I mean, if you have kids and stuff, then that adds a whole different layer. But yeah, I would say don't accept that from anybody. Somebody that, I mean, if she's really abusing you, really hitting you, I wouldn't accept that from anybody. Your message was held because it said it's little smacks, but breaking stuff isn't acceptable. And when she smacks me, because I'm a man, it doesn't feel that bad, but it's her intent that counts, right? What does it say? I'm going to just show it because I can't see the rest of it. Another modder? What? Do I have a mod? I don't know. It's saying, but you didn't write anything else. I don't know. I don't, hitting is too much. You shouldn't put your hands on anybody. That goes for guys and girls. When it gets to that point, it's too much. I hate to say it, but that's I mean, and you say that she is doing this over everything, and it's nothing you're doing, and it's just the type of person she is, and her mother belittled her father, so that's how she is. Sounds like nothing's gonna change it. So it sounds like you need to walk away, and maybe you'll find something greater. But as from what I know from your side of the story, it seems like she's in the wrong, and you need to walk away. I mean, I know that I can't make that choice for you, and I don't know her side of the story, but from what I've heard, when it gets to that point, it's too much. It's too toxic. Your last one about the little smack showed up. I don't know about another one, but yeah, I can imagine if it's getting to the point where she's putting her hands on you. How do you control that in the moment? So that's what's going to lead to somebody getting arrested, or even worse. So it's best for both of y'all to go your separate ways, unless she could change that behavior. And if you're not doing anything, I don't have her side of the story, but if that's just the way she is, or her side of the story, You could have talked about, well, you should be able to talk about this stuff even with your friends, but sometimes you don't want to go and run your mouth to your friends about everything that's going on, because sometimes we overthink things and tend to blow stuff up into bigger than what they are when we're mad and upset, and then we tell somebody, and then later on we regret it because maybe we were just being a dick at the time and whatever, you know. So I can understand that you don't want to run and tell your friends, but I'm here to talk about it. If you want to talk anytime, I'm here, that I'm live, you know, or drop a comment. You know, I just think like that's not good for anybody. And if she really is doing that to you, you know, and you're not doing nothing wrong, you know, that's something you got to ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Then it'd probably be best to go. And I hate to say that because it's not like it's, even though it doesn't affect me, I know that's not an easy choice. It's easier said than done. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, gaming? That's my brother. He does a scratch off channel where he goes live all the time and does scratch offs for anybody who's interested. I'm just sitting here rambling, you know. I think I'm gonna start going live whenever I feel like rambling or whatever. I have something to talk about for like an hour. I don't know. No, I don't really watch pro wrestling. I was listening to Theo Vaughn earlier, and he was talking with Sketch, which if you like Theo Vaughn and you like This Past Weekend, I'll live stream more often. But if you like Theo Vaughn, you should watch that. That goes for you too, FaZe, because that shit was funny as hell. And they brought up Hulk Hogan and how like that was like a big thing when he was younger. So we watched that when we were younger. We had my brother's in the chat. He could confirm. We had this like kid-size Hulk Hogan that we used to fight over or whatever, like sleep with and stuff. And they were talking about Hulk Hogan and how like, yeah, how it was like such a big part of our childhood, or you know, people growing up poor and stuff like that. At least we had wrestling. R.I.P. But some people laughed at that. I mean, I understand some of his political views, which I'm not getting into, or whatever some of the stuff he said. But like, he was a part of a lot of people's childhood. Like growing up, I knew about Hulk Hogan. We didn't watch it that much because we watched. I think he was a part of NWO or whatever, the other one, I think. But we watched WWF back when it was WWF, and so my biggest, you know, I liked Cactus Jack McFoley, crazy son of a bitch, but that was my favorite. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I remember when Kane first took off his mask. Triple H, son of a bitch. Now he's running the show. And yeah, now we got Logan Paul. So no, I don't really watch it. But I do have the ability to watch it, and I might start. But it's not the same as it was back in the day. You know, I don't know, not the same. But yeah. Mick Foley was a legend. I'm glad I could help you out. I'm glad I can make a difference. I mean, I hope it's what I said, the advice I gave is, you know, good advice. And like I said, it's not easy to tell somebody what I said. X-Pac, and he's the Hardy. Oh, yeah, Matt and Jeff Hardy. X-Pac and the Hardy Boros. Yeah, we used to grow up. I forgot which one you liked, brother, but we used to act like I would act like Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy. You would act like Matt Hardy. phase. Jim Ross. Damn you, Triple H. You son of a bitch. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. No, that's who? Jim Ross? I don't know. The Rock. The Rock back when he was cool. Not the same anymore, but you know he got brought in there to be the bad guy, to be the heel. I heard something about this, and so that's the character he played into. But then he became the people's champ. Rakishi? What about Rakishi? I don't know who you're talking about, Jim Ross, but I just read it how you put it. I don't know why I can't remember Jim Ross, but oh, the commentator. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I remember. Are you ready to rumble? I'm not gonna even try to attempt it. Now his brother's on UFC or whatever. I forgot to say I'm blanking here with the names, but I think his one did wrestling and one does UFC now. But is that who you're talking about? Is that Jim Ross? I can't remember the guy's name. But I don't know. I'm dumb sometimes. I blank out. I don't know. I just know those cage matches with is he the one that was like he had like the really high pitched voice? I know that's kind of narrows it down, right? But I don't know. It's been so long. I just know we grew up watching that, watching up with Disney or Nick. The Disney Channel, but Nick as well. I mean, I grew up when I lived in Lake County, back in Lake County. It was like a small little town, and we had no cable. We grew up watching like stuff like The Simpsons, King of the Hill, Seven Heaven, stuff like that. Yeah, he would know more, and he would remember. My brother would remember more because he was older, and he probably was more into it than me. But it's just something we did all the time, like Theo was talking about in his podcast. JRs. Okay, now that you said JRs, that sounds more familiar than Jim Ross. Because didn't they refer to him as JR? Yeah, PBS. We had like basic stuff like Hey Arthur and Doug, Clifford. But then when I got to grandma's, we had Direct TV, and so you know we had the the Nickelodeon, the Disney stuff. I never really watched like the Disney stuff like the real life Zach Cody or whatever or iCarly. We had a grown up friend that watched iCarly all the time. It was pretty weird, but I didn't watch that stuff. I watched like SpongeBob and Codename Kids Next Door and like As Told by Ginger and just random stuff. Dexter's Laboratory. That was pretty good. Just I know I'm forgetting like a lot, but it's kind of hard to think about everything on the spot. I know Adult Swim when we got older. Adult Swim is pretty good. Definitely remember a lot of shows. Yeah, way more Nick than Disney. Definitely. Well, I grew up. I mean, I was born in '93, so I grew up halfway in the '90s, halfway in 2000s. So I don't know. I just remember The Simpsons definitely. Yeah, Yeah, Kids Next Door was good. That was like my favorite show for a while. Ed, and Eddie. As far as like Adult Swim, I don't know. I actually started watching Space Coast, Coast to Coast, not too long ago. I didn't used to like it, but it grew on me, and it was funny as hell. 95, yeah. Bill and Mandy, yeah. Not so much. Not so much Bill and Mandy. I liked it, but not not as much as others. Um, you, my brother put me on to um, what's the Imaginary Friends one? Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That was like one of the first like out there shows, that later turned into like, you know, Ugly Americans and all that stuff, all that trippy stuff that eventually led to like Rick and Morty and yeah, yeah, man. I remember when I was young, like there was a time I wanted to go hang out with a friend, and he wasn't home, and I went. I had nothing else to do, so I went back and forth like across town like 5 times that day just to see if they were home, and they never came home. But whatever. That's the kind of stuff we had to do. We couldn't. Well, I didn't have a cell phone or whatever, so I couldn't just like call them. I had to go across town to try to see if they were home. Was awesome, still is. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like that stuff was awesome, but it was also what distracted me from concentrating on other stuff. Like growing up watching Adult Swim, you wanted to stay up all night. You wanted to stay up all night to watch stuff like Inuyasha and stuff like that, Robot Chicken and the Oblongs. I never really liked Moral Oral. I know you like Moral Oral, but I was more like into like the Oblongs. I think that only has one season actually. But yeah, it just started getting like shows started getting more and more out there and crazier, and now they have like the World of Call, which is they're still on that crazy stuff. Like I posted a video about the World of Gumball on something, but they like I forgot what it was, but they took something and their eyes like went and they got super big, and like he started seeing like ghosts and like hallucinating and stuff. He's like, oh my god! And then his friend was like, I'm gonna get out of here, and he's like, no, and he splashed some in his eyes or something, and then his eyes got big and he started seeing the hallucinations. And I was like, this is a kid show, They're pretty much taking drugs. Bob the Builder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I watched it. That's like that's like admitting you watched Barney or the Teletubbies. Do you and your brother live together? No, we don't live together. Bob was better than both of those. I don't know what two you're talking about. I've been rambling on about certain too many shows. Barney and Teletubbies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was way better, way better. I mean, Barney sucked, and so did the Teletubbies. Even then, I think like if you watch the Teletubbies, you probably watch the Teletubbies like, what the hell is this? You know, you were probably like, just what a day at the dinner with their random ass nonsense. I have a fiance. He's single, but no girlfriends. Yeah, I don't know. I just blanked out for a second. Wish fiance, nice. Yeah, it's actually about time I get around to just marrying her instead of we've been together for 13 years, 12 years. Yeah, yeah, it'd be nice, like growing, like we didn't. I don't know. That's a touchy subject because like we've been together for 12 years, like I said, and we we never cared about like getting married. But I think every woman wants to get married, even if they say they don't care. But like I never wanted to just go to like down to the courthouse, and I would want to make it nice. And then there's part of me that doesn't care because I feel like sometimes you spend all this money for other people and not for you. So I mean, I feel that way about more than just marriage. I feel that way about a lot of stuff, like birthday parties. Sometimes you go out of your way and spend all this money for like the guest instead of like your kids. So I feel like doing something at some point sooner than later, but more for us. I don't know. I just don't want to make it about everybody else, worrying about the napkins and the silverware and does the cups match the plates and who wants to I don't know. Maybe that's the woman that thinks about that stuff, but I think you guys get the point. Bro, will I sign a prenup? I wouldn't. I would not make her get a prenup, but that's because I've been with her for so long, and yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, he's hoping he gets the claimer one day. It'd be nice to be on live. He got to stop scratching scratch offs off live because you'd get upset if you hit that claimer off live. You'd have to go back on, guys. I scratched this off live and I got a claimer. You'd have to show the ticket to prove it. You got to manifest it. I started off this conversation with talking about thinking stuff into existence, and there's this. Oh, you got a shirt idea? I got a couple shirts idea for my trailer park boys, but I don't know. I feel wrong making a shirt and selling it without their acknowledgement, without them knowing. I would want them to be a part of it, and get like money off of it. So I wouldn't want to go any other way about it. But, oh, you would make a short that would go viral. That makes more sense. I thought you had a shirt idea. He's in roofing. I clean pools for a living, which it sounds nice, but there's this guy that there's this guy that wanted a job. He wanted a job, and I told him how like to apply, and then he ended up getting a job at the restaurant next to my work, and I walked out the back door today, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, you got a job?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I told him, I'm like, some of our people went over there and started working for them. And he's like, oh, why did they leave here? I'm like, no, they went over there. They left here. Fire truck. See what I'm saying? But anyways, I guess it's not that important. But I'm like, hey man, sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. You know, because he was kind of looking like, I wish I got your job. And so I think sometimes people look at pool cleaning as like it's easy, but it's actually harder than you think. Like when I first started my job, when I was working at my old job, I was digging trenches, and I saw a pool cleaner like barely working, and he was getting paid more than me, and I was like, what the hell? So it made me want to like quit and be a pool cleaner. And I feel like people probably look at me like that. You're not in the field anymore. You both can make point of view video while doing your work. They get like millions of hits all the time. Field anymore? I'm not in the field. Yeah. If I did that, I couldn't do it live. But yeah, I could do a point of view. But I would have to go back and edit like a lot of stuff. I would have to edit addresses. I would have to only show the pools. See what I mean? I was talking about in the beginning, like if I start talking about anything that's like important, there's a fire truck or something that'll spawn. But just proved my point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I don't think I would want to make videos like that. I don't think I would want to make. I mean, I know it'd be like satisfying because I watch SB mowing and SB pressure washing, and I'll watch that all day, especially if I'm like trying to chill or go to bed. But I don't think I just want to be known for that content. I don't want to do that type of content and then spend the time editing it, and it's not something I would be passionate about. No, I know what you mean, but I just don't think I'd be passionate about it. And then I would have to wear a GoPro all the time. And since I work for a company, I don't know how they would feel about that, and I don't know how the customers would feel about a guy wearing a GoPro in their backyard. If it was my company and my customers, then I would probably do it. So that's a big part of it too. That's a big part. Because I mean, there's like I run into all different types of people, and I want to like they're like firemen and they have stories, and I want to talk to them, but like I don't know how my boss would feel about it. That's kind of overstepping a boundary. If they were my customers, then I would like not be too hesitant to ask. But I asked two people. One person said he was down. He's a firefighter from New Jersey, and he's waiting to retire. I don't know. Maybe I'll interview him one day. And then there's another guy who we talk all the time. But then he said he's like nobody would want to hear what I have to say. And I said, you'd be surprised. And then he said, we talk, and you can come here anytime and have a beer, but I don't want to be on video. So I'm like, okay, I respect that. I understand. And there's a couple other people. One person I talk to every Thursday. I probably could have got him on video, but unfortunately he passed away. And there's a couple other people, like a New York police. He's retired now, but he's a New York police. Like he was, whatever. I don't know what his job, but he was a police officer, and he was like there when 9/11 happened, and he knew a lot of people that were involved around 9/11 when it happened, and not like involved in 9/11, but around it, like, and actually died of cancers and stuff like that. So that's I've thought about asking him, but again, that's like a touchy subject and overstepping a boundary. Even though this guy's really cool, like, he doesn't want anybody else to do his pool. He'll walk up to me and just like shove some money in my pocket, like in the middle of talking to me to give me a tip. That man knows President Bush. Yeah, uh, I know a guy that he supposedly worked in the Pentagon. He's retired now, but he won't tell me shit. I gotta go. It was nice chatting with you, both you brothers. Wish you guys happiness and health and success. Thank you. I wish the same for you and good luck with your situation. I hope it gets better for both of y'all because I know you care about them. Yo, Gaming, if you win the auto anytime soon, give me a shout out on TV. Phase Man 300. I almost said 3,000. You should change it to Phase Man 3,000. But check out his gaming or his scratch offs. That's something like the pressure washing and the you could just sit there and watch it. You could just sit there and watch somebody scratch off for an hour or two or however long they can. That's something good for like chilling. But I think I'm gonna end it here. I plan to go for an hour. It's hour 16. I got more. Um, what's the word? I don't know. Like more interaction than I thought I would. And I actually got somebody who asked for advice, so hopefully I didn't ruin their life. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm satisfied with today. I'm gonna go live tomorrow to do Vice City because I started Vice City, and I feel like I should have waited on that, but because I just jumped right into it. But whatever, man. Can't be scared. So nice chatting to you. Are you going live anytime, gaming? Obviously, gaming. Are you going live tonight or tomorrow? Sometimes you do those pop up lives, so I don't know. You going live tomorrow? What time? So I know everybody else knows, but mainly I just want to know so I know what time to look out for. It usually pops up anyways, but I think the stream is a little delay, but probably around 10 p.m. All right, I'll be looking out. If I'm not live myself, I don't know what time I'm gonna go live. I might go midday, and then I'm gonna try to stick to like some kind of schedule. I've been kind of crazy, all over the place, crazy with it. Uh, I think I'm gonna try to do Friday night rants because I like the names. Saturday, Vice City, and then Wednesday I'm gonna do Final Fantasy 10, and then maybe like somewhere in between random stuff. I don't know. But I got a video idea. I got an actual video idea. I bought some stuff for the video. I gotta wait until next week for it to come. And I think it's a great idea. It's a great, simple idea. So I'm excited about that. And look forward to that, I guess. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I think it's a good, funny, cheap idea. Cheap, but it's going to be a good video, I think. I think people are going to be, it's kind of on the lines of what we were talking about. You can just sit and watch it. If you don't go to Georgia tomorrow, you might go live around 11. One of these days, you're going to have to take me to Georgia, man. We were just watching Roman Atwood, and he gave away a truck, dude, a brand new Denali. He gave away like a mobile home that pulls behind the Denali. He gave away like $10,000, and the guy who won, all he did was buy a shirt, and he was from Georgia actually. All he did was buy a hoodie, and it's like $5 per entry, and he won, and I think he was meant to win, so I'm not salty about it, but I was thinking, if I win, I can't get up there. But as soon as I saw the video today of that guy winning, I'm like, man, if I won, my brother would take me up there, like in a heartbeat. And I'm like, I did not even think about that, so I didn't even try it. And I didn't believe for a second I would win. But next time he does a giveaway, I'm gonna order something. I ordered a shirt in his last giveaway, and Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but he said the next giveaway is going to be bigger. So if I buy a shirt, I'm gonna just expect to win. I'm gonna not have a doubt, and hopefully I win. That'd be great. And hopefully me talking about it is gonna talk into existence. I don't know, but yeah, check out The Game of Life and How to Play It. It's from this lady that lived 100 years ago or more, and it talks about this type of stuff. What I started off talking about. Yeah, you got to speak stuff into existence, and like, pretty much it talks about like you got to see yourself with already having something. One of the main takeaways is if you want something good but you're expecting the bad to happen, then what you're expecting to happen is going to happen. You got to expect the good to come. So like if you want some money, you got to see yourself with money. So if you go, it could be reckless, but I mean it's good. There's good ideas in this book, but like pretty much like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get money, but then you're still being like frugal and scared to spend money, it's like you're not acting like you got money or whatever. You're acting like a broke person or whatever, a brokey. So then you're gonna be a brokey. It's kind of that type of stuff. I don't know. It's pretty interesting, but it's kind of like affirmations or whatever, positive affirmations. I don't know. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? You're a positive person and you think positively. It's better than being negative. But that's probably why I went live today, because of listening to that stuff. So I'm gonna end it before I start ranting some more. Mango, what's up, man? Unfortunately, I'm gonna end it, but I think I'm gonna try to go live every Friday, and I'm gonna go live tomorrow, and on Wednesdays I'm gonna try to stick to a schedule. So please hit that subscribe button and join me on the next one. I mean, unfortunately, you missed it, but catch me on the next one. Good night. I appreciate everybody watching. And who knows, I might do more than an hour next time because now people are popping in. But thanks for watching, and take care of yourself and stay safe.